Welcome to the Baseball Blue Book podcast. My name is Eric Webenaw, the president of the Baseball Blue Book. Are you in the book? Make sure you download your app today from Google Play, Apple App Store, or visit us at baseballbluebook.com. Build your profile, search our directories, network with the baseball industry. Today's podcast sponsor is brought to you by Empowerment Sports Group, changing the world through sports. All service facility out of Los Angeles, California. Like, share, and subscribe today. Make sure your friends are finding us on YouTube. We're also on all the podcast channels. Today's guest is Nick Cucchi. Plays for A3 Academy down in Tampa, Florida. He works with Empowerment Sports Group and is verbally committed to the University of South Florida. Excited to have Nick Cucchi with me today. Nick works with Empowerment Sports, Joseph Guzman, and the guys out there. Really excited about having him on. Hey, Nick, how's everything going?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
Doing fine, and looking forward to this. Nick, why don't you give us a little bit of a background, introduce yourself, what high school that you go to, where are you from, and then we'll get this thing going.
I am Nick Cucchi. I'm from down here in Tampa, Florida, and I'm blessed to be able to go to A3 Academy, where we play JUCOs and other academies. So we really get a step up on high school baseball competition. It's really helping me prepare for college and all that stuff. I'm going to be a junior next year, so I'm a class of 24. And at this point, I'm verbally committed to USF, University of South Florida, and I'm really excited for the next steps with that stuff. So
that's fantastic. That's awesome. Congratulations on that, Nick. That is such an awesome opportunity and time in your life, and it kind of brings me back to when I was in high school, and that happened to me as well. So very, very excited. So let's start from the beginning, Nick. Baseball obviously is your chosen sport. Let's go back to the very beginning. When did you get introduced? What made you like it, and take us through that?
Oh man, so I started probably around 6 at my church has like a little rec league, and my dad put me in, and he was coaching me, and I really liked it there. But I was playing all kinds of sports there. I was playing football, soccer, until I decided to go to a little league called Forest Hills in Tampa, and that's where I decided baseball is going to be what I wanted to play. And I was never really that good, but I really played for fun, and I loved it. And that's my dad helping coach me is probably what helped me fall in love with the game, seeing how much he loved it and loved coaching me, and I could really mold myself to that. So yeah,
you brought up a couple good points. One, you said I wasn't very good at it, but I loved the game. So what does that mean when you say, were you just kind of running around? Were you like one of those high energy kids that just love to have fun, or what kind of drew you to the game of baseball?
Yeah, exactly. Like I would just, every time I go out there, just try to have as much fun as possible, because even still now I do that, because if I'm not having fun, like it's a sport. What's the point of me even playing? Sometimes I feel like we take it a little too serious, and get all wrapped up in recruiting and everything that's happening, instead of just enjoying being able to play. And that's I think the biggest part for me.
What keeps you kind of grounded on that? With all the pressure, doing the workouts, the side training, the practices, the games, making sure you're on the right travel team, the right coaches, the right all of those things. What keeps you kind of grounded to focus on the fun?
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure, and when it comes to like weight room and practice and training, that all you have to take very serious, because that's where you're making your body better, making yourself good for in game. But when it comes to games specifically, I just try to stay loose and relaxed, and the rest will just take care of itself. If you're putting in the work, then games should just be fun.
That's a great way to look at it, right? From a business perspective, that goes a long ways as well. I always tell people that work for me, it's you put in the work, and then the real job is actually fun.
Right.
And if you know what you're doing and how to accomplish the things that you need to accomplish. So, all right. So you're younger. Your dad coached you. You found your love in the game. What positions did you start with? What kind of drew you to baseball? Was it the pitching? Was it outfit? What really drew you to the game?
So when I was little, I'd play almost every position. I've never caught in my life. So catcher has never been. I've never had an inning at catcher, but um, all positions. I would play short. I'd play first. I'd play center field, left and right. And um, once I got to the little league level, I was on the best little league team, and I was stuck in right field. And that wasn't as much fun, but I still found a way to make that fun. And it wasn't until high school where I was able to play on my high school team in 8th grade, and that was when I found out that I was best in center field because I'm fast and my hands weren't that good in the infield, so that was just my spot.
Okay, that's awesome. The general, right? The taking charge of the outfield. I was always outfield as well because I'm a lefty, and I never really enjoyed first base.
Yeah.
Um, so it was the outfield and being able to track the balls which was always fun. It's always a game inside the game out in the outfield. Because there's so much time, so you kind of make different games and different things to keep you focused on. So let's talk about meeting empowerment and what was that process like, and talk a little bit about what you're doing now. Now that you have verbally committed to UCF.
Yeah, USF.
I'm sorry, USF. I apologize.
All,
There are two out there. Sorry.
all good. So I met them through my coaches at the Warhawks. They actually DM'd me on Twitter and asked if I could, do a couple calls with them. And I did a couple calls with them. I was talking to a few other advisors, still keeping my options open with all of that stuff, but because I'm still young. But they really liked some of the things I had to say on my phone calls with them, and they're pretty nice to me, and they help me out with a lot of things like getting me on this podcast and stuff like that, building
Yep.
the brand, which is something that I'm going to start soon, and just stuff like that. And what was the other question about the committing?
Oh, just what is what's going on now that you've committed? I mean, how have you made that transition from kind of looking around, seeing where you want to go to what you need to take care of right now?
Yeah, so USF's probably about 20 minutes from my house, and they gave me an offer that was, pretty good, and I got bright futures with that. So it was really no brainer. With hold up. Can you see me?
I just lost you. There, you're back. Yep.
It was really a no-brainer with choosing them as the school I wanted to commit to, and with committing came a lot of new pressure that I had to face. Like the oh my gosh, like I'm committed. A lot of these people aren't. I have to over overdo it and stuff like that. But I really had to figure out how to keep a cool head and just still make it fun, still have fun because once you're talking to colleges, then it's when it really gets serious.
Yep.
And that's the difficult part is being able to stay to who you are even though you have this label behind you and this target on your back. So that's the harder part.
What are some things that Joseph and Michael have helped you through that maybe you weren't really aware of that would help you going forward?
Probably the whole social media scene and how important that is, to building your brand and also having people know who you are, which is a big thing, is connections.
Mm-hmm.
So they're helping me out with connections, and I started working with them or talking with them probably about 2 months ago, so it's still relatively new.
Yep.
So there hasn't been that much stuff, but this is the first big thing they've helped me out with.
Okay, no, that's great. These guys, these two, I've known them for a while. They're fantastic. I'll tell you, Michael knows the kind of the big picture of everything. Joseph is kind of down in the weeds. He knows everyone. I'll tell you, Nick, if you're debating or thinking about or keeping your options open, I would embrace and hook your wagon up to those guys. They're going to do a great job for you and do the things that you need to do. So that's just my shout out to them. They've been great supporters of the Baseball Blue Book and what we're doing. So Nick, so what was the summer like? Talk a little bit about what you did this summer. What leagues were you in? Where'd you go? What were some of your good games?
Man, so the summer started out pretty well. We did a tournament in Auburndale, just like a little warm-up tournament with Prospect Wire. I'm on two teams, so that was with my TBT team, the Berman team, and then I'm on the Warhawks. So I started with TBT, and I did pretty well in that tournament. And then I went to Junior National, which is the perfect game, the big event for juniors.
Yep.
And I did pretty well in the showcase portion, but I actually hit a home run during the games, and it was pretty cool. Like, I got my post and stuff, so that was all fun. And then the next inning, I went out on the mound and I tore my UCL.
Oh.
So I had to get surgery on that, and so it kind of, it was kind of a difficult halt to the summer.
Yeah.
There, so that was unfortunate.
How long have you been rehabbing then? How long has it been?
So I got surgery 3 weeks ago yesterday,
Okay.
and I was fortunate to be able to start PT the next day. So
Nice.
They've been speeding me through it. Like, they've helped me so much. Yeah, I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't at the PG showcase, and then they referred me to their guy, and then he got me in with my doctor like this. It was so quick. It was awesome.
That's great.
But very lucky there. And they say I'm ahead of the bell curve with recovery, so that's a big thing.
Okay. So maybe pitching, are you going to, is that an area that you're going to continue to go up on the mound, or are you going to start focusing on kind of where you need to be, or what are your thoughts on that?
I'm definitely more of a hitter outfielder than a pitcher. I'm technically committed as a two-way, but I don't know if that's the path that I would want to take now, going in college and everything. I think I'm going to stick more with the hitting and outfield part of it. Maybe senior year I'll return to the mound a little bit, but I think now keeping load on my arm low and everything is what's going to help me stay healthy moving forward.
Right. So what are your goals, Nick, in life?
Obviously, I would love to get drafted, but if that that should work out. But if that doesn't work out, there's always got to be a plan. I'm going to go to USF, and I'm going to try and get a degree in business finance, and then see where I can work from there. See where I can go from there.
What was because I know Joseph talks a lot about preparing for the draft. That's one of the big things that he does. And making a commitment to USF is certainly part of that. What are some of the things that Joseph has talked to you about, or maybe what you're thinking about from the draft perspective and preparing for that?
It's really all about training and how well, I can get my body ready for when it's time to show out in front of all those pro scouts. That's a huge part of it. And my trainer, Nicole Gabriel, she's amazing. She works with a lot of the MLB guys, and they're always in there when I'm training. And so it's cool to like model myself after what they're doing, seeing how much work they put in. And, playing and, getting reps in the field is good, but it's that weight room side that really gives you that advantage over the other players. Because, especially that with nutrition and stuff, those little things that other guys aren't doing are just ways to get advantages over people.
I think that's one thing that Empowerment does a really nice job of is the balance across the board, right? We've had special guests on the podcast with everything from sleepwear to training devices to nutrition. Obviously some trainers and different techniques, but they bring a really nice balance of across the board of what it takes to go to that next level. You can't just rely on your skill at that point. You
Right.
gotta really sharpen the areas that need to be sharpened. So I think that's great. So what's your favorite team, Nick?
I'm from Tampa, so I like the Rays. The Rays, I've loved them since I was, a little kid. So I couldn't like any other team.
Yeah, I'm a Pirate fan, so I feel like all of the good Pirate fans go down to the Rays, they go to the Yankees, they go everywhere.
Loyal fan.
Yeah, it's been a tough. Now I've got Kansas City Royals hat on. They're also the same. They're one of the model teams for the Pirates because they're a small market team. They build within the draft. They build, from within. And if you can align your players at the right time, you can have a magical season. And they've done it a couple of years. And
Yep.
I swear the Pirates, every time they're real close, we release all of our good players, and it's like we can never line up the players at the right time. I just got a nice little meme on Twitter the other day, and it said it showed it fielded an entire team of former Pirates and the starting pitchers and rotation. And I think it was half of the team that made the All-Star game, the team this year. And
Wow.
it's really frustrating, but you know what? Hey, I'm a baseball fan. It's
Yep.
fun to watch them come up through there. So
The Rays always do that too. They'll get some really great players and then they'll trade them off. They've been really well with actually trading them off at the right times too.
yeah,
So getting some pretty big steals, but I don't know. We got a huge contract with Wander Franco, so we'll see
yep,
how that goes. But man, we're in such a hard division.
yes, yes.
Pretty
Well,
difficult.
no kidding. It was in the Orioles on like a 14-game win streak now. Because
Yeah. So
so
the worst team in our divisions is 500 right now.
it's crazy. It's going to be fun. This year's going to be a lot of fun with the extra teams in the playoffs. So I'm really excited about that. I think bringing back the passion and the love of the game. We can't tinker with all the goofy things that they did a few years ago. I think it's just adding more teams, more quality teams into the playoffs, and giving more people an opportunity to cheer, because that's the thing about other sports, right? When you have a balance, every year you start off and your team has always got an opportunity and a chance. And in baseball, it doesn't work out that way very, very much. I don't go into the season thinking the Pirates are going to make it. I know the years that they have a chance, but it's not every year. So I think
No.
the Rays are one of those real balanced teams. They've done a really nice job of building their program. So it's exciting. So Nick, what do you got other than PT? What are you doing from a baseball perspective right now? Is it more mental? Is it more kind of preparing yourself for this next year? What are you doing personally?
I would say right now it's more mental at this point, because I have a 6 week no working out, no hitting, no anything. I'm 3 weeks through that, so I'm halfway through that point, and so I've been doing a lot of journaling and note taking, just getting my mind off things. That's something I'm huge with, especially like if you're not hitting well. Note taking and journaling is huge,
Yeah.
but I'm really planning out what I'm going to be doing as soon as I'm able to get back, because
Okay.
I lost time. And so that's something that I've been preparing myself for is, okay, I'm going to get back and I got to really bust it, to get back to where I was. Because, 6 weeks is quite a while, even after like the summer where I wasn't able to work out as much in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
losing all of that and trying to keep weight on, even though I'm not working out.
Right.
Those things, eating right, especially since I'm not doing anything, I have to maintain as much as possible. So I have to try and eat right.
So,
Um,
so as we wrap up here, Nick, who are some of the few people that you would do a shout out to and say that they were really instrumental in helping you get to where you are today?
my parents, for sure, obviously God and everything He's blessed me with, but my parents, for sure. All my coaches, especially my coaches at A3, Coach Shane, Coach Matt, um, my trainer Nicole, she's awesome. She's she's helped me so much. And then my friend Andrew Duncan, who's a grade ahead of me, he's also an outfielder, and he's taught me some of those smaller things that help you perform better in games. So being able to model off him, and he's a phenomenal player. He's going to FSU. Being able to model
Awesome.
has really helped me in my game as well.
That's great. So obviously parents, just the last thing, couple things that your parents did that you probably were not happy about at first, but you want to look back and go, these are the things that I didn't like, but I know that they were the right thing to do.
Yep, my mom was always hard on me. She never babied me and catered to everything I wanted, things like that. She was always, pretty strict about things, and I didn't like it when I was little, but right now I realize, that's something that really built my character now.
Yeah.
Thankful for that. And with my dad, it was when I was little, I didn't want to practice. I was lazy. Most kids, they don't want to go out and hit.
Right.
He was like, no, we're going to hit. We're going to do this. You're gonna do some sprints. You're gonna do speed stuff. And I really hated that. But looking back, I kind of wish I myself had wanted to do it more, because that would have made me even better now. So, but I'm really glad he, pushed me to do those things.
Just remember, parents always know what's best for the kids, don't they? Even if you don't like it, there's always a reason for it. And if you knew that when you were a kid, then you didn't need parents, and that's what parents are for. So don't get down on yourself on that. It's a matter of, fortunately, they stuck with it, and you realized it, and you found something that you're passionate about, and look at where you're at now. I think that's a testament of commitment across the board, and that's really exciting, Nick. Hey, I'm excited for you. I look forward to watching your career. I definitely will be following it, and I appreciate you joining me on the podcast, Nick. Let me ask you real quick: Are you familiar with the Baseball Blue Book, other than what probably the Joseph and Michael told you about?
I am. I made my account and I scrolled through. It seems like a pretty cool app for getting yourself out there and kind of showing other people what you're doing in game. So it's a really cool tool.
Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and share this video. And please subscribe to the Baseball Blue Book podcast for additional videos and new episodes coming your way every week. Thanks.